The last time the Superbikes were down here at the Aldo Scribante circuit had a brand new surface and a lot of riders went down. Well, the circuit has aged a wee bit. But with me, Dave Peterson. Dave, the riders still seem to be going down in hordes.
Yeah, Roger, they're crashing in heaps, and I think it's possibly because of the pressure out there at the moment. In the national Superbikes, there's certainly a lot of pressure up front, and the racing is ever so close. Now, what's happening during practice, the guys are out there making every single lap count, every corner count, in fact. So what they're doing is they're getting as late as possible on the brakes, and then put the power on as early as possible, bounce off the curbs, and head off down towards the next corner. At least 2 of the crashes have been from cold tyres yesterday. 2 of the guys have gone down because of cold tyres. That means they've gone out of the pits and they've gone too quickly, too soon, crashed out on cold tyres. So I think it's a combination of the pressure and basically just the speed of the bikes at the moment.
Brad, you've run into a bit of bad luck lately, just mechanical things. Now you've got things going better and you threw it away pretty badly.
This wheel has not seemed to be turning in my favour. You know, the bikes break and we sorted that out, and now I'm broken. You know, I wish we could just get some luck on our side.
Were you just trying too hard?
Yeah, it was hard. I was only about 0.2, 0.3 off, and just wanted that little bit of edge and just got it to slide, and it just spat me over at about 160 k's an hour.
We're talking in the position that most of the Nasher Yamaha have been this weekend. Russell, all 3 of the team have been down the road. What gives?
Yeah, we're having a Honda weekend this weekend, Rog. Everybody's been down the road, and luckily the riders aren't too seriously hurt, but I'm battling with my hand. So I'm on the second row of the grid, and Trevor's got a swollen ankle. But the guys have done a great job and got the bikes together, and it looks like I'm forced into taking strategy of just collecting some points and no prize money.
Capable of revving to 14,000 RPM and beyond, all these superbikes need careful warming up, as do the riders. They have to be super fit these days to be able to concentrate throughout the race, as these bikes are now becoming very physical to ride at this level. Well, time for official practice. All the competitors are keen to see how this man Sean White on his ARP Kawasaki goes. He's caused a sensation in June when he led Russell Wood here a few times. And Stuart McLeod, Suzuki's main man, waits it out to see what times the others are putting up in the 20 minutes allowed for official practice. And then he decides to go out and show them how to do it, and promptly gets himself on the front row of the starting grid. Not bad for a man lying second in the championship at the moment. Russell Wood changes gears in the opposite direction to all the other competitors. He waits while his levers moved higher, because the new surface on the circuit allows the bike to be cranked over so much further. And the same goes for Greg Dreyer, with Noddy van Krenen rearranging his gear change lever on the autopage cellular Honda, as Greg Dreyer departs, gets ready to depart to slot in again in 3rd position on the starting grid. Nice touch there. The Honda man uses Yamaha spanners to do the job. And as the riders complete practice, all seem pretty happy with quicker times in the setup before they wheel their bikes back in the pit to start the checking for this afternoon's race. Top 7 riders lapped within 0.7 of a second of one another. Robbie Peterson for the first time is on pole position with Crooks, Dreyer and McLeod in the front row. Unusual for Wood, he lies 5th with Sean White in 6th spot. Back from Europe for a short break from Racing World Championship Superbikes is Lance Isaacs, and everybody's very pleased to see him. He's done a good job representing South Africa. Time to go racing. 19 starters lining up. It's going to be a 15-lap race. It's 38 k's of this 2.5-kilometre circuit here at the Aldo Scribante track in Port Elizabeth. Quite a windy day as Brian Hoskins runs for his life on pole position. Robbie Peterson gets a great start. Wheelies, wheel spin. We're on our way down to Look Corner. It's about 800 metres away. Here they come down the centre of the road. Number 7 is Sean White on the Kawasaki, and Robbie Peterson flies across their bows. He's in the lead. It's Zimbabweans 1 and 2 as they go round Look Corner on the first tour. And then there's Greg Dreyer just behind them. Russell Wood's in there as well, Trevor Crooks, and they're all screaming through. The man who's lost a lot of time off the starting line is number 6, and that's Stuart McLeod down in the pack. Brad Nass is there as well. And 46, Noel Horriff making a comeback to Nasher Superbike Racing as they come and get onto the brakes now for the Honda hairpin. It's Robbie Peterson 60. Sean White's on the inside. Doesn't use particularly good lines. He just scrambles his way into the corner, and it's very effective. Greg Dreyer's next on the autopage cellular Honda. This is big-time motorcycle sport. Robbie Peterson looking relaxed there, very fit rider. Then it's Peterson. Russell Wood's lying in 5th at the moment. Stuart McLeod there is lost those few positions, as we say, coming off the starting line. He's behind Arushan Mudley, the local boy from Port Elizabeth. It's two-wheel drifting as they come into sight at the end of lap 1. Subs things up to Peterson. Russell Wood's hanging in there for those points, as he said, 77. Jason from Badon bringing up the rears. Robbie Breakspear from Port Elizabeth. Onto the back. Oh, and he's nearly overdone it. Sean White nearly overdone it. Locks that back wheel, goes into this first corner, and he's gone inside. Told you about those unusual lines. He brings Greg Dreyer with him. Robbie Peterson from first has gone back to third, and a man's down at Jason front Bedard. Gee, he's fallen off at Carlom. He's fallen off a few times this year. He'll pick himself up. I'm sure he's going to be back in action. Here comes Sean White in the front. He's got Dre on his tail on 0-2. And then it's number 21. Trevor Crooks tries to put it over Robbie Peterson on that Aero Cure Honda. It doesn't work for him. So from pole position, Robbie's gone from leading back to third position. Crooks is on 21. Russell Wood's next. 5 is Graham van Bedard. And then it's Stuart McLeod. He's a hard ride. That hard riding bunch in the front. Rushan Woodley comes next. It's two-wheel drifting, feeding the power on. That nose to tail slipstream. They actually got a bit of a wind pushing down this main straight. They're hitting about 240 as they go down to this corner at the end of the straight. It's about 900 meters away. Here they come. Dre's trying on the inside. He's going to get White. No. They are the last of the late breakers, this bunch in the front there. It's very difficult to outbreak each other going to the squad. Another man's down. Can you believe it? We've got Noel Harif has taken a tumble. That's the third rider we've had come off in this race. What a pity. He's been so good in regional racing, comes back to national racing on that rider security Yamaha, and he's thrown it away on the second lap of this race. But the action goes on in the front, and as we see them going on their way down to Honda Hairpin, onto the brakes goes Sean White, and trying to put it over them there was Robbie Peters, but round the outside. This is brave riding here by Trevor Crooks. Tries to take him the outside, didn't work. It's either got to be bravery. It's a lot of talent that man has got to put it around the outside of those guys going into that hairpin. Russell Wood's hanging in there. Greg Gray's a little bit further back onto the brakes for Goodyear corner. Power it on. They two-wheel drift across the road. Tuck in there. The heads go down behind the bubbles. They're coming towards us. Look at about 8-9 riders. Any of these riders can win this race. Onto the brakes. Very, very late into this corner. Greg Gray's going for the front. No, it's not around the outside. Look at that for riding. Trevor Crooks on third has swept round the outside of this bunch. That's what I mean about talent. Balloon in the ankle or not, he fell off in practice. It doesn't worry him. He's forgotten all about the injuries. That left foot of his is aching. Powers it on. They're using all the road. Greg Dreyer very, very close up to them in third spot. And Stuart McLeod settling down there. And he's got Russell Wood just ahead of him. He's lining up to pass him. Here comes Dreyer now, the inside. Overdoing it, locks the back brakes. And the leader sweeps through. That's Trevor Crooks in 21. Hangs on to lead this race, and he's starting to get away from them. Dreyer's in second position. He took White on the way into that corner and held him off. Anyway, Peterson is 16, is fourth. There's Russell Wood in fifth spot on number 3, and behind him, Stuart McLeod, and closing. Then it's Graham van Bedard, Rushan Woodley hanging into this bunch. So closely there, all these riders are on the limit as they come out of Goodyear corner, almost leaving back strikes. Number 23 is Anassis, and the Russell Wood team looks at their pit boards. He's hanging in there, he's doing his points, but as Robbie Peterson comes on the inside, he takes Fellas and Barbie, they both come for Rory. Sean White, he's gone back to third as Robbie Peterson. So he's on a chance. See, this racing is chopping and changing all the time. We've got Trevor Crooks in the front, the Nashio Yamaha, and then the Autopage Cellular Honda, the Aero Cure Honda's in third spot. Sean White, that ARP Kawasaki. Here's the next bunch. It's Brandon Ashes. On his tail, he's got Woodley. He's past Woodley there. Jason Vessels on that Santon Plant Hire Suzuki, he's a privateer, is on their tail and chasing. We're on to the brakes now. We're going to Honda Hairpin. Dreyer tries, he couldn't make it. Robbie Peterson tries to sweep around the outside, change his mind, tries to tighten his line to get Dreyer, who sums things up and says, oh, no, you don't. He's the first of the Hondas at the moment. Then Sean White, he's got a jet of a Kawasaki. It's a 98 model, they're the quick ones, and he's hanging on there for dear life. And he's come to light this year, and he's been a very aggressive little rider. As we say, comes down from Ferrari. It's Trevor Crooks, it's Greg Dreyer, 16 is Robbie Peterson, White is in, 6 is Stuart McLeod, hasn't closed on Wood, 5 is from Bedars that come towards us, and then that other battle goes on with Woodley. It's world-class motorcycle sport as Robbie Peterson on the brakes, I can't believe it, has passed Greg Dreyer, and he's the last of the late breakers. So Robbie's back to second, now he's chasing. Trevor Crooks is not safe. The front, they're closing as they get into the Continental S's. They are certainly closing. You don't lead this race for too long. You've got so much competition in your tail. Here comes Woodley. He's repassed Brandon Nass's 23 on that Shell Kawasaki. And just behind Jason Vessel, all these youngsters, Bo Levy's on 14 on his Honda. He's a 17-year-old schoolboy riding with his seniors, and he's doing a great job in there. Onto the brakes once again. That's very late as they're going to Honda Hairpin. You can throw it away easy. Robbie Peterson goes on the inside. He didn't open the door. He just pushed his way through, did Peterson. And Crooks now's got to make another plan. You can see the body language. These are two aggressive riders. And Greg Dreyer in there for points. He doesn't want to drop in the circuit. He's had a lot of step-offs this year. And the team has said, Greg, just get this bike to the finish. And so does the Brandon Nass's want to get there in his Kawasaki. It's Robbie Peterson. Looks at his lap board as he comes past it. And Russell Wood is still in there. Here's Steve Cannon, the man who puts that bike together and does so well. He's tuned bikes for 2 Superbike champions so far, is Steve Cannon. Robbie Peterson hangs on. He's done the fastest lap. It's 0.03 of a second slower than the lap record. Can you believe it? That was set up by Greg Dreyer on that Autopate Solar Honda just back in June. So they're right on the limit, and a very strong wind has come up here in Port Elizabeth. Here we go. Sean White has now passed Greg Dreyer, and Russell Wood is just sitting. He's making no effort there. He wants the points he's going to get for 5th position. Onto the brakes once again. He's going to be able to do it. Trevor Crooks is late. He likes to sweep around the outside. Tries it inside this time. Pattering there from the fairing of Sean White, Kawasaki. Russell Wood doesn't look like he's even going to try. Quite happy to stay where he is, as we say. Here comes Sean White. He's got Greg Dreyer. Greg Dreyer just turns it on as he comes out of that 5-stone hawk sweep on their way to Goodyear Corner. And Mudley and Bo Levy's moved up ahead of Brad Onassis, who just wants to finish in the Kawasaki. He's had a bad patch of mechanical problems, and he wants to get that bike to the end. Here we come again. Trevor Crooks is trying for the lead. He's not going to get him. Robbie Peterson at Aerocure Honda is having the ride of his life. Won the championship in 83 and 87. Way back then, he's a very experienced man and he's doing so well as that other bunch comes through. And it's led here by Bo Levy. Has gone to the front. He's gone across Rushan Mudley's bows. Mudley's frozen. He's gone off the circuit. The Nasher Yamaha is into the sticks. He'll have to pick up his thoughts now and just motocross back onto the circuit, but he's lost about 4 positions there as the fight goes on for the front. Trevor Crooks got the pressure on. It's under 0.1 of a second behind him, and going through on the inside is Greg Dreyer. Sean White picks his bike up, and Russell Wood makes no effort to pass him either. He's looking so good and relaxed as Robbie Peterson. Look at this, cranked over the limit. You cannot crank a motorcycle over further than these riders are doing here today, and then standard time. Bo Levy and 14 the Honda. 24's Lance de Kooning, the man from Port Elizabeth, going well on his home track, and Brad Onassis in there wants to finish, as we say. We've got a lap to go. It's 2.5 kilometers to go, and this race will be over, and the fighting's not over in the front. It's Trevor Crooks is putting the pressure on. Greg Dreyer goes back to 3rd. Sean White is 4th, and Russell Wood in 5th position on that Nasher Yamaha. Boy, this has been great motorcycle racing. You don't get it much better than this. Here they come. They've got 1 or 2 back markers in the way there. And I'm sure they're going to move out for them as Robbie Peterson accelerates out the Conti. It's a 16 Aerocure Honda. He's got Trevor Crooks making a last-ditch effort. Is it going to change? They come onto the brakes. Here's Robbie Breakspear. He comes from East London. Here comes defending his line 16. Crooks hasn't got a place to go. He's got to follow him through the corner, round that Honda hairpin on the way down to a 5-stone sweep. Here he comes. He's looking good. He's got about 2 bike lengths. Is it enough for him? Trevor Crooks is going to try something in this last corner. Turns the power on early. Those Banshee waiting 4s are giving it everything they've got. Here they come towards the line. Breakspear comes through. It's Robbie Peterson. And right on his tail, he's got Trevor Crooks. 0.1 of a second right behind him. And then we've got Greg Dreyer, Sean White, and Russell Wood in 5th. And Stuart McLeod's in there as well. What racing! You don't get it much better than this chopping and changing throughout those 15 laps. Trevor Crooks happy to be home in 2nd, waving to the crowd. As the machines get weighed in the scrutineering bay, big smiles there from the Peterson brothers. Robbie, at last, a great win.
Geez, Rod, it just all came together. You know, we've the whole year we've been working on the bike and developing it. Steve Cannon does an unbelievable job. And it's funny, you know, you ride hard and you finish 3rd, and then you go and ride easy and you win. It's crazy. But everything just worked really well. Yeah, fantastic.
And where did you work out that you're going to get Trevor Crooks? Did you work that out or just come to you?
You know what, I was just relying on him being unfit. I kind of thought, you know, I know that he doesn't train. And I was just thinking, well, I don't think he's probably just hanging on and getting tired. And I actually backed off the pace a little bit because I knew we'd drop the other guys. And I just thought, well, hopefully he's wearing down and I'll just kind of hang in there. And I knew I was fairly strong on the brakes, so I didn't think he could come back at me.
Makes it sound very easy. Just 0.03 of a second outside the lap record was Robbie Peterson. First win for Honda this year. Trevor Crooks looking very strong with Dreyer confirming Hondas on the plate. And first the privateers, a 17-year-old boy from Johannesburg, Bo Levy. So, Bo, this is your best result. You're really in there with the big boys. They're passing them left, right and centre.
Yeah, it was a good race for me. I just had a real bad start when I got them past all of my targets that I had for the race, Moodley especially. It was a fun race, but we're still struggling with the suspension.
Are you still at school?
Yeah, I'm staying at 9 now.
And how do you find the standard of riding with these rigs? Hard riding, eh?
Yeah, it's much harder than the regional 250s, but I'm getting there.
As a determined Russell Wood gets ready for race number 2. What have the Nasher boys got in mind for this race? Don't go away, we'll be right back shortly with all the action. Round number 14 of this 20-race championship as Greg Dreyer comes on the line. 17 bikes remain. Some of the walking wounded have stayed in the pit, and the wind has got up and is very strong. This could affect the race. And Robbie Peterson is off the line like a dragster as he comes down the middle of the road. It's Sean White. Sean White's got the jump in. He's a tiny wee front. That Kawasaki does go. He comes into the first corner, corner. He goes to the front. Robbie Peterson second. And Graham van Bedard's gone through to third position as Alex Lennox goes round the outside. There's also on the sister Aerocure Honda there as they go into the contests. 2 corners and we've had 2 leaders. Can you believe it? The fight is back on in this race of champions, no doubt about it. Robbie Peterson. Then we've got Trevor Crooks on his tail. 5 is Graham van Bedard. Lost a little bit out of that corner. His brother there, 77. Jason van Bedard on the Suzuki just behind. Robbie Peterson looking relaxed. As he says, you can be relaxed on a motorcycle when you've got a bike that really does go, and it's so well prepared. And White is challenging right up there with him. He's trying his angle, that funny line, and he's gone through. Sean White has used the acceleration. We've had 3 leaders and we've gone through 4 corners. This is going to be a hot one. Here goes Noel Horriff. He has made a comeback and repaired the motorcycle after falling in the first straight. It's White and he can out accelerate. The wind is going to blow them all down the straight. Robbie Peterson. Then it's Trevor Crooks. 5 is from Bedard. 11 is Moodley getting away from the Koenig at 24. 99 is Lennox. They come onto the brakes. Is Robbie Peterson going to make it leader number 4? No, he's not. Couldn't make it this time, and they are braking late. They've got to be careful the wind doesn't push them off onto the grass. If you use your normal braking boxes, you go in there. Trevor Crooks is having a look around to see what he can do here. Russell Wood is well up there, and then the Autopage Hondas are just behind it with Graham van Bedard and Greg Dreyer. And we've got challenging there from Robbie Peterson. You can see the Koenig on his tail has got Noel Horriff going past him on that Rhino Security Yamaha, flying through Hanger Bend. And he holds on to his lead. Does Sean White. Boy, he's got to hang on there. He's got them all over him. They are looking to pass him. Stuart McLeod's up well there in number 6. The 2 Zimbabweans lead and Robbie Peterson's lining him up. He's bringing Trevor Crooks with him. 5 is van Bedard, Autopage Sullivan, and Greg Rose on his spare motorbike. His engine gave trouble just before the start of this race. Into Goodyear corner. They are late on the brakes. Is the man losing it? It's Russell Wood. From 4th position, he's thrown it away. Speedway South. Fortunately not falling on that very sore wrist and hand that he's got. He walks away undamaged. That motorcycle's out of the race. 14 is Bo Levy, a little bit further back in the field this time. And Dave Freeman, the man looks after Russell Wood's bike, looking concerned. Where's his runner? He's off on the circuit. He's definitely out of this race, and they'll just have to get him back into the pits. And Sean White lives for another day, but Robbie Peterson trying a new line, bringing Crooks with him. Then it's Stuart McLeod riding well this time. Dre's past Graham van Bedard. He's moved up to 5th. 17 is Jason Vessel's right there behind Brandon Esses on the Kawasaki, going for the point. Here comes Robbie Peterson on the brakes. Late on the brakes, he gets him on the inside. Pettering, fairing, and then front wheel from White. And we've got another leader. This is leader number 5, and we've only done a few laps. Can you believe it? And Robbie Peterson getting away. That bike is quick, no doubt about it. He's fast through these lines. Greg Dreyer's on the limit. That's Dreyer at his best. Awesome. He can pass him around the outside on the inside. Dreyer is very, very good at getting past people quickly. And 2-wheel drifting. You see Stuart McLeod getting that back wheel out as he comes through. And then we've got Noel Horriff on his tail. He's got a Russian Moodley. 24 is de Koenig. 17 is Vessels. 99 Lennox. And 14 is Bo Lever. A little bit further back to stop. And going for the front. Is he going to do it? No, he's not. Sean White. He's got to stay there in 2nd position, but he's got Trevor Crooks. If he slips up in this one, he's going to have Trevor Crooks coming through there on the Nashua Yamaha. Woods comes back to the pits. Not a happy man. He's out of this race. Anyway, he's got so many points in the championship. Started 80 points ahead as they started this day's racing. So they've got a long way to catch up to Russell. Dave Freeman said what happened. He says, I just lost it. It got away from me. And he's out of this race. And he's using the Nashua test leathers. He's destroyed a few sets of leathers this year. He has been down the road a few times. So Russell Wood, not unhappy to be out of it. And fortunately without any injury. Here comes. Is White going to get through on the inside? No, he's not, says Robbie Peterson. Dreyer's 4th. 5th is number 5 is van Bedard. 6 is Stuart McLeod. And Noel Horriff has closed up on this leading bunch. He can go some. Right on Stuart McLeod's steps, the leads go out to indicate to them how far over they can crank the motorbikes. And it's more than 50 degrees. A little bit of a weave there as he comes out of that corner, puts the power on. Robbie's in line, he sums things up, looks behind him, so does Dreyer, and the strong wind is pushing him down to 250 k's now. There's Russell Wood backing up Trevor Crooks. He says, Trevor, you can win this one if you play it carefully. He's overdue for a win. Is Trevor Crooks, and he does it. He goes to 2nd spot. Now he's got only Robbie Peterson to deal with. He's taken Sean White, who's he's regrouping for another. If you can see the body language here. Those 3 guys on the limit. Another man's off. Jason Vessels has thrown away, and he has thrown it away a few times this year. Just look at his leathers. Anyway, he always lives to fight another day. Jason Vessel, young man learning his craft of superbike racing. It's a hard school to learn it in. These guys in the front are right on the lap record. They're going so quickly. Here comes Sean White to get cooked. No ways. Greg Drea's now got Stuart McLeod passing him on the way, and Drea's going to be happy. Down on power, he's just going to pick up the points in this race. I don't think he's going to challenge that very quick Corona World Supersport bike there of Stuart McLeod. It does really fly, that Suzuki. Drea still has the head down on the tank. Boy, he is going, he's trying just as hard as he can and bringing Graham from it. Twice a champion in motorbike racing. With him, as they come to the line, it's Robbie Peterson. Right on his tail is Trevor Crooks. And then we've got Sean White. Here's Stuart McLeod. He's got Greg Drea on his tail. Great racing there. From these others, they didn't beat the lap record. The wind was far too strong on this one. A double for the day for Peterson. A pair of second places there for Trevor Crooks, and Sean White definitely back on form. The Zimbabweans have started to put across the South Africans. His sponsors overjoyed with 2 wins for the day for Robbie Peterson.
I'm really happy with that one, I tell you. The first one, you know, worked reasonably hard for. The second one, I just thought I actually tried to win as slow as I could. You know, I just kind of backed off the pace. I knew Trevor's was hurting, you know, his legs, and I thought Sean might have been the danger guy, but all in all, really, really chuffed out.
Now